Hello everyone, I am Professor S.N. Mane, Assistant Professor Kekewag College of Agriculture, Engineering and Technology, Nashik. Today we will learn about the practical determination of protein content. Suppose you have given a food material. So how you can find out the protein content from that food sample? So first of all, we will learn about the basic information regarding the protein. What is protein? Protein, these are nothing but a polymers of the amino acids, or you can say proteins are the building block of the cells. Okay, that is they are manufactured from the number of amino acids. Now, there are 20 different types of amino acids which are naturally occurs in the proteins. Okay, proteins differ from each other according to their type, number, sequence of amino acids, which make the polypeptide backbone. As a result, they have different molecular structures, the nutritional attributes, and physicochemical properties. Proteins are very important as a constituent of the food for number of reasons. That is, it gives energy to the human beings after their consumption. Then, for the growth or metabolism, reactions will be done by the proteins. Then, enzyme secretions. So, these are some functions of the proteins. There are different sources of the proteins like vegetables or the fruits or number of pulses are the very rich source of the proteins. Then in the vegetal protein there are less proteins, but animal products are very rich in the proteins. So the principle behind to find out the protein content is that it is determined on the basis of organic nitrogen percentage or nitrogen content by the Jaldhal method. There are various nitrogen compounds which are get converted into the ammonium sulfate by the boiling with the concentrated sulfuric acid, and the ammonium sulfate which is get formed, that is get decomposed with an alkali solution, that is NaOH, and the ammonia get liberated. It is absorbed in excess of the standard solution of the acid, it may be boric acid or the hydrochloric acid, and then back titrated with the standard alkali solution. So we will learn about what are the apparatus required for this process. That is, first one is the Jaldhal digestion flask, then Jaldhal distillation apparatus. See, this protein determination process, it is categorized into three steps. That is, first one is the digestion, second one is the distillation, and third one is the titration. Now this Jaldhal distillation apparatus is nothing but it is same digestion flask which is fitted with the rubber stopper through which passes lower end of the efficient rubber bulb or the trap to prevent the mechanical carryover of the NaOH during the distillation. Then we need a conical flask of 250 ml and burette of the 50 ml. Then different reagents we required, that is concentrated sulfuric acid, specific gravity of 1.84, and sodium hydroxide solution of the 45%. Then that sulfuric acid solution with the normality of 0.1 normal and methyl red indicator. Then boric acid approximately 4%, and the catalyst mixture, that mixture it contains K2SO4 with the 91.3 gram, then copper sulfate with the quantity of 8.5 gram, and mercury oxide 0.2 gram. Now we will learn about the what is the procedure to find out the protein content. Then first of all, you have to take the weight of your dried sample. It should be approximately 0.2 gram, and transfer to it the digestion flask. First of all, while transferring your food sample into the digestion flask, take care of that your material didn't stick to the neck of your that digestion flask. Then add the catalyst mixture of about 2 gram and concentrated sulfuric acid solution of 40 ml into that digestion flask where your food sample it is already. Then the flask was placed in an inclined position in the digestion chamber, and give heat to that sample or the chamber about 4 to 6 hours. Still your liquid it becomes clear. Now the content in the flask they were allowed to cool after boiling. Then the digestion material which was transferred quantitatively to a vacuum jacketed flask of the micro Jaldhal distillation apparatus. And the glass beads. Glass beads, these are the broken glasses over which that distillation process will be carried out. And 100 ml of water you have to add into that distillation chamber. Then 150 ml of 50% NaOH solution, it is added slowly in order to prevent the bumping of that mixture. Then simultaneously you run the water in the condenser and steam distillation at the 60 degrees Celsius. Then whatever ammonia get liberated by the addition of 150 ml of your NaOH solution, on heating it was absorbed in the 50 ml of 4% boric acid contacting to the 2 to 3 drops of the mixed indicator in the 500 ml of the conical flask under the condenser whose tip extends below the surface of the solution, and condensate which is collected up to the 200 ml whatever it is obtained. Then the distill of ammonia which was titrated against zero point 0.1 normal sulfuric acid till their color goes on changing from the blue to pink. Now uh, percentage nitrogen you will find out by this formula, that is ratio of normality of H2SO4 solution into their volume into 14 divided by weight of the sample into 1000, and this ratio it is multiplied by 100, so you will get the nitrogen in percentage. Now why this 14 as a constant number has given here? See, we have taken different volume of H2SO4 solution, but this formula has made by keeping in mind that is 1000 ml of the solution. So 1000 ml of one normal ammonia solution, it contains approximately 17 gram ammonia. See, nitrogen having atomic weight 14 and hydrogen having 1.0079 gram per mole. So we take approximately 1 gram per mole weight of that hydrogen. So combinedly your ammonia in ammonia, sorry, 1000 ml of one normal NH3 solution contains 17 gram of ammonia. So nitrogen, it is approximately 14 grams. So from finding out the nitrogen content by this formula, you can find out the crude protein content of that sample by using the formula, that is whatever percentage of nitrogen you have obtained here, and it is multiplied by this factor 5.8, that is the food factor. This is the diagram which I have shown here. What is the digestion flask, how it is arranged? See, this is the digestion flask which containing your sample, and initially you have added the H2SO4 solution. Then it is connected with the inclined condenser where after chemical reaction or when the ammonium sulfate has formed, the vapors of that ammonium sulfate it will goes through this condenser, and here in the condenser that vapors get converted into the liquid, and that liquid ammonia it will collected in this conical flask, and it is titrated against the acid, it may be boric acid or the hydrochloric acid. So by this formula you can find out the crude protein content, that is nitrogen percentage and into the food factor. And this food factor it get varies according to the variety of food, which kind of bakery products you are preferring or the fruit or vegetable sample you are preferring. So as per the variety of sample, this food factor it goes on changing. So thank you.